What up, y'all? It's your boy, One Sir Grove, OSGOE, here on this Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Weekend here. Thanks for tuning in. If you're a fan of the show, if you support the show, man, we 495, we appreciate you. So, I'm listening to the radio, man, out here in New York. And because it's all about, the Empire State, Big Apple. And I'm just from a little small country town originally, from out west, traveled east. And I'm listening to this music, man, and one of the things that I recall is that when I was younger, my mother, who was in the military, I've talked quite extensively about that, she played soccer. And she played indoor soccer and outdoor soccer. And my aunts, her sisters, they played as well. They were all on the same team and different teams. And it was quite organized. So my cousin, who's my age, my biological cousin, my mother's sister's son, he and I, we were in school together from junior high school forward because he lived on the bay side. I lived on the river side. And though we went to different elementary schools, the school system where we were, the school district, it consisted of students from his side of town and my side of town. So in other words, once we went to different elementary schools, but when we got to junior high school, we ended up going to the same junior high school. In other words, middle school, and then high school. So he and I had classes together, and we've been friends, man, since childhood. He's like, not just, he's like a brother to me, but, he's my cousin. So, and then, we have mutual friends and who are 495 because we started 495 with the original 6 members. And so our mothers respectively used to play soccer, indoor soccer, largely, but also some outdoor soccer. And the reason I bring that up, man, is I was reminded of that by this song that I heard today, which is Separate Ways. Dude, oh my God. Separate Ways. What, dude? What? I mean, so the topic of the show isn't just this song, Separate Ways. What I want to talk about, and of course I'm Googling this, bear with me here, because every time I go to do this podcast, it wants to play games with my search here. I want to look up this track. All right, let me just look it up over here on another computer. Give me one moment because, again, it just wants to play games. All right, separate. No, I don't want to look up just separate. I want to look up the Separate Ways. All right, Worlds Apart, song by Journey. Separate Ways, dude. What? Now check it out, man. It says the song's 4 minutes, 25 seconds. Lyrics go, someday love will find you. Break those chains that bind you. Of course I can't sing, dude. But that song is so dope. Not only is it ultra dope, as I often say, and which is actually the title of one of my solo albums, the Ultra Dope album. So it says here, Journey. Okay, quote, here we stand worlds apart. Hearts broken in two. Sleepless nights, losing ground. I'm reaching for you. Man, that song, man, is a rad song, dude. It's ultra rad. And one of the things that I want to share with you that a lot of people don't know is that when I used to play video games at that indoor soccer dome, dude, they had stand-up arcade games, and one of them was this video game where when you would get to a certain level within the game, it would play rock songs, dude. And one of the songs was Separate Ways by Journey. Now, it wouldn't play the whole song until you advanced to a certain level of the game. So it would play the song in piecemeal or in increments. So that was the incentive. And it would just come on like, it was the incentive when you would hear bits and pieces of it, parts of the song, because you would be like, yo, I want to hear the whole song. Now, keep in mind, in this video game that I played, I'm going to type this here. Hold on. Let me see if I can find out video game. Let's see if there's any way to find, well, of course there is, but let's see how quickly I can find it. Video game, separate ways. Because I haven't, was it Tron Legacy Clip? No, that's Flynn's Arcade. No, that's from the movie. What if I go to images here? Video game, separate ways. No, these are all new games. This was back in the Man, I wasn't even a teenager yet, man. I was like under the age of 13. Video game Journey, separate ways. And I believe that it played other songs too, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't just a song. No, man. I have to do... Wait, is this it? Video game by Bally? Video game by... Maybe this is it. This looks kind of... Hold on. Journey video game by Bally. Now, this is a video game with apparently Journey band members. Related images. Yo, that actually might be the game. Was it the Journey game? Man, it might have been a video game. Here, it says copyright, Roman numerals, 1983, all rights reserved. Dude, it may have, yeah. Oh my God. Holy crap. Alright, so, yo, it was, I'm looking at it right here. Yes, it was. Okay. So this was by Bally Midway. The game, so it was a video game by Bally of the Journey rock group. And I clearly remember because there's the concert. You can see him on a raised stage. You can see fans out in the audience. And then there's like different levels where there's like these kind of floating platforms. And then they have their dude, yes, this game. What? It's like two eyes with like this kind of like eye in the center kind of thing. This iconic, they had a sit-down version of it too. I don't recall ever playing the sit-down version. Man, that is vintage. So if y'all go to Google and you type video game Journey separate ways, it brings up this retro game by Bally Midway. I used to play that video game. I thought it had songs from different rock bands. That was a false memory, apparently. It was one band, and it was Journey. And, yeah, man, this soccer dome where I used to play video games while my mother and my aunts played soccer with these different leagues. I just walk around the soccer dome and have, like, allowance money from, like, mowing lawns and, like, raking leaves and, like, doing stuff, like, around my neighborhood to help out folks. They'd pay me shoveling snow, whatever, man. I'd have money saved up. And so they had, like, a little concession stand, and I'd buy, like, little, like, stuff that you'd find at, like, a state fair kind of food, like arcade food, I guess. And, man, I just pump quarters into these machines, man, these stand-up arcade games. And, dude, one of the raddest games of all time is this game right here, man. I'm going to buy one of these, man, if I can find one vintage and just put it, man, in the lair. Like, yo. So, yeah, you get to that level. Oh, and then I'm looking down. I'm looking down at some of these other images, and there's that, like, those two eyes with that, like, center of, like, focus, like little spiral of energy for like Psy Energy, whatever this icon is that they created for this game and this Journey rock band of theirs. Yeah, it was amazing, man. So that song, Separate Ways, always, man, just timeless classic. And then today when it came on the radio, it reminded me of when I used to play those stand-up arcade games as a kid. And I was like, remembering like, yo, I wonder how many people remember or even know from my era, my generation, that there was a Journey video game. And you know what, man? Excuse me. I don't know how many people from my age group, if they even know that there was a video game, because there were so many freaking video games made. Yes, this is nerdcore in that it's about video games because I'm a video game champion. I'm a video game master from back in the day. I don't know how many people from my generation, from my era, they even know that there's a Journey video game because, if I'm not mistaken, I only saw that at that one place ever. Now, that may also be a false memory. I may have seen it at some other places, but if my memory serves me correctly, it was like a game that wasn't so widespread because, I mean, at least not where I lived. Maybe it was in like a lot of other places, but I don't believe I saw it ever in any other arcade like around town, man. And I was a arcade fool. Like I went to, oh man, if there was an arcade, man, I'd find it and I'd go there and I'd skateboard there. I'd ride a bike there. I'd ask a family member for a ride there. Dude, I was a kid, like under the age of like 12. And, dude, going to arcades was what I did. Yeah, man, the 1980s rocked. I'm your boy, One Sir Grove. Thanks for tuning in to yet another episode of Casting 495 Celebrities Worldwide, C4CW1.